Hey everybody, I'm Jacob, and today we're going to be reading Numbers 16 through 19. We have 5 days left in Numbers 16. Here we are. Okay. 16 through 19. So, another page and a half type of thing. They're all back here. Okay. 16 through 19. Okay. Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Korah, son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, the certain Reubenites, Dathan and Abiram, sons of Eliab, and On, son of Pelath, became insolent, and rose up against Moses. With them were 250 Israelite men, well-known community leaders, who had been appointed members of the council. They came as a group to oppose Moses, and Aaron said to them, "You have gone too far. The whole community is holy, every one of them, and the Lord is with them. Why then do you set yourselves above the Lord's assembly?" When Moses heard this, he fell face down. Then he said to Korah and his followers, In the morning the Lord will show who belongs to him and who is holy, and he will have that person come near me. The man he chooses, he will cause to come near him. You, Korah, and all your followers are to do this. Take censers, and tomorrow put fire and incense in them before the Lord. The man the Lord chooses will be the one who is holy. You Levites have gone too far. Moses said to Korah, Now listen, you Levites. Isn't it enough for you that the God of Israel, who separated you from the rest of the Israelite community and brought you near himself to do the work of the Lord's tabernacle, and to stand before the community and minister them. He has brought you and all your fellow Levites near him, but now you are trying to get the priesthood too. It is against the Lord that you and all your followers have banded together. Who is Aaron, that you should grumble against him? Then Moses summoned Dathan, and Abiram, the sons of Eliab. But they said, We will not come. Isn't it enough that you have brought us out of a land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the desert? And now you also want to lord it over us? Moreover, you haven't brought us into a land flowing with milk and honey, or given us an inheritance of fields and vineyards. Will you gouge out the eyes of these men? No, we will not come. Then Moses became very angry and said to the Lord, Do not accept their offering. I have not taken so much as a donkey from them, nor have I wronged any of them. Moses said to Korah, You and all your followers are to appear before the Lord tomorrow, you and Aaron. Each man is to take his censer and put incense in it, 250 censers in all, and present it before the Lord. So each man took his censer and put fire incense in it, and stood with Moses and Aaron at the entrance of the tent of meeting. When Korah had gathered all his followers in opposition to them at the entrance to the tent of meeting, the glory of the Lord appeared to the entire assembly. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, Separate yourselves from this assembly, so I can put an end to them. But Moses and Aaron fell face down and cried out, O God, God of the spirits of all mankind, will you be angry with the entire assembly, or when only one man sins? Let me get a drink here. Then the Lord said to Moses, say to the assembly, move away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Moses got up and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. He warned the assembly, move back from the tents of these wicked men. Do not touch the tents of these wicked men. Do not touch anything belonging to them, or you will be swept away because of all their sins. So they moved away from the tents of Korah. Dathan and Abiram, tents of Korah, had come out and were standing with their wives, children, and little ones at the entrance to their tents. Then Moses said, this is how you will know that the Lord has sent me to do all these things, and that it is not my idea. If these men die a natural death and experience only what usually happens to men, when the Lord has not sent me, but if the Lord brings about something totally new, and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them with everything that belongs to them, and they go down alive into the grave, then you will know that these men have treated the Lord with contempt. As soon as he finished saying all these things, the ground under them split apart, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them, with their households and all Korah's men, and all their possessions. They went down alive into the grave, with everything they owned. The earth closed over them, and they perished, and were gone from the community. At their cries, all the Israelites around them fled, shouting, the earth is going to swallow us too. And fire came out from the Lord and consumed the 250 men who were offering the incense. The Lord said to Moses, tell Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, to take the censers out of the smoldering remains and scatter the coals some distance away. For the censers are holy. The censers of the man who sinned at the cost of their lives. Hammer the censers into sheets to overlay the altar, for they were presented before the Lord and have become holy. Let them be a sign to the Israelites. So Eleazar, the priest, collected the bronze censers brought by those who had been burned up, and had them hammered out to overlay the altar, as the Lord directed him through Moses. This was to remind the Israelites that no one except a descendant of Aaron should come to burn incense before the Lord, or he would become like Korah and his followers. The next day, the whole Israelite community grumbled against Moses and Aaron. You have killed the Lord's people, they said. But when the assembly gathered in opposition of Moses and Aaron and turned towards the tent of meeting, suddenly the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared. Then Moses and Aaron went to the front of the tent of meeting, and the Lord said to Moses, get away from this assembly, so I can put an end to them at once. And they fell face down. Then Moses said to Aaron, take your censer and put incense in it, along with fire made atonement for them. Wrath has come out from the Lord. The plague has started. So Aaron did as Moses said and ran into the midst of the assembly. The plague had already started among the people, but Aaron offered the incense and made atonement for them. He stood between the living and the dead, and the plague stopped, but 14,700 people died from the plague, in addition to those who had died because of Korah. Then Aaron returned to Moses at the entrance to the tent of meeting, for the plague had stopped. The budding of Aaron's staff. Man, my nose is acting up. It's also that my lips have been so chapped for the past 2 days. I want you to be again. Sorry I've been so reading it. I don't know what's going on. But this is a great reading. I love it. These are just little plastic bits. I hope everyone is well out there. I'm sending my prayers out to anyone involved in those plane accidents, obviously. Anyone injured. I know a lot of people died. Hopefully they rest in peace. Let's get back. The Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and get 12 staffs from them, one from the leader of each of their ancestral tribes. Write the name of each man on his staff. On the staff of Levi, write Aaron's name, for there must be one staff for the head of each ancestral tribe. Place them in the tent of meeting in front of the testimony where I meet with you. The staff belongs to the man I choose with sprout, and I will rid myself of the constant grumbling against you by the Israelites. So Moses spoke to the Israelites and their leaders gave him 12 staffs, one for the leader of each of their ancestral tribes, and Aaron's staff was among them. Moses placed the staffs before the Lord in the tent of meeting, in the tent of the testimony. The next day Moses entered the tent, which represented the house of Levi, and not only sprouted, but had budded, blossomed, and produced almonds. Then Moses brought out all the staffs from the Lord's presence to all the Israelites. They looked at them, and each man took his own staff. The Lord said to Moses, "Bring back Aaron's staff in front of the testimony to be kept as a sign to the rebellious. This will put an end to their grumbling against me, so that they will not die." Moses did just as the Lord commanded him. The Israelites said to Moses, "We will die. We are lost. We are all lost. Anyone who even comes near the tabernacle of the Lord will die. Are we all going to die?" Duties of priests and Levites. The Lord said to Aaron, "You, your sons, and your father's family are to bear the responsibilities for offenses against the sanctuary, and you and your sons alone are to bear the responsibility for offenses against the priesthood. Bring your fellow Levites from your ancestral tribe to join you and assist you when you and your sons ministry before the tent of the testimony. They are to be responsible to you and are to perform all the duties of the tent. But they must not go near the furnishings of the sanctuary or the altar, or both they and you will die. They are to join you and be responsible for the care of the tent of meeting, all the work at the tent, and no one else may come near where you are. You are to be responsible for the care of the sanctuary and the altar, so the wrath will not fall on the Israelites again. I myself will not fall on the Israelites again. I myself have selected you, your fellow Levites, from among the Israelites as a gift to you, dedicated to the Lord to do the work at the tent of meeting. But only you and your sons may serve as priests in connection with everything at the altar inside the curtain. I am giving you the service of the priesthood as a gift. Anyone else who comes near the sanctuary must be put to death. Offerings for priests and Levites. Then the Lord said to Aaron, I myself have put you in charge of the offerings presented to me. All the holy offerings the Israelites give to me, I give to you and your sons as your portions and regular share. You are to have the part of the most holy offerings that is kept from the fire, from all the gifts they bring me as most holy offerings, whether grain or sin or guilt offerings. That part belongs to you and your sons. Eat it as something most holy, and every male shall eat it. You must regard it as holy. This also is yours, whatever is set aside from the gifts of all the wave offerings of the Israelites. I give this to you and your sons and daughters as your regular share. Everyone in your household who is ceremonially clean may eat it. I give you all the finest olive oil and the finest new wine and grain they give the Lord as the first fruits of their harvest. All the land's first fruits that they give to the Lord will be yours. Everyone in your household who is ceremonially clean may eat it. Everything in Israel that is devoted to the Lord is yours. The first animal offspring of every womb, both man and animal, or the first offspring of every womb, both man and animal, that is offered to the Lord is yours. Everyone in the household who is ceremonially clean may eat it. Everything in Israel that is devoted to the Lord is yours. Oh wait, I just read that. Wait, never mind. devoted. The first offspring of every womb, both man and animal, that is offered to the Lord is yours. But you must redeem every firstborn son and every firstborn male of unclean animals. When they are a month old, you must redeem them at the redemption price, set at 5 shekels of silver, according to the sanctuary shekel, which weighs 20 gerahs. But you must not redeem the firstborn of an ox, a sheep, or a goat. They are holy. Sprinkle their blood on the altar and burn their fat as an offering made by fire, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. Their meat is to be yours, just as the breast of the wave offering and the right thigh are yours. Whether it's set aside from the holy offering, the Israelites present to the Lord, I give to you and your sons and daughters a covenant of salt before the Lord for both you and your offering, and your offspring. The Lord said to Aaron, you will have no inheritance in their land, nor will you have any share among them. I am your share, and your inheritance among the Israelites. I give to the Levites all the tithes in Israel as your inheritance in return for the work they do while serving at the tent of meeting. From now on, the Israelites must not go near the tent of meeting, or they will die, or they will bear the consequences of the sins and will die. It is the Levites who are do the work at the tent of meeting and bear the responsibility for offering against it. This is the lasting ordinance for the generations to come. They will receive no inheritance among the Israelites. Instead, I give to the Levites as their inheritance the tithes that the Israelites presented as an offering to the Lord. That is why I said concerning them, they will have no inheritance among the Israelites. The Lord said to Moses, speak to the Levites and say to them, when you receive from Israelites the tithe I give you, and as your inheritance you must present a tenth of the tithe as the Lord's offering. Your offering will be reckoned to you as grain from the threshing floor or juice from the winepress. In this way, you also will present an offering to the Lord from all the tithes you receive from the Israelites. From these tithes, you must give the Lord's portion to Aaron the priest. You will present as the Lord's portion the best and holiest part of everything given to you. Say to the Levites, when you present the best part, it will be reckoned to you as a product of the threshing floor or the winepress. You and your household may eat the rest of it anywhere, for it is your wages for your work at the tent of meeting. By presenting the best part of it, you will not be guilty in this matter, that you will not defile the holy offerings of the Israelites, and you will not die. The water of cleansing. Last chapter. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, this is a requirement of the law that the Lord has commanded. Tell the Israelites to bring you a red heifer without defect or blemish, and that has never been under a yoke. Give it to Eleazar the priest. It is to be taken outside the camp and slaughtered in his presence. Then Eleazar the priest is to take some of its blood on his finger and sprinkle it 7 times towards the front of the tent of meeting. While he watches, the heifer is to be burned, its hide, flesh, blood, and offal. The priest takes some clear wood, hyssop, and scarlet wood, and throw them onto the burning heifer. After that, the priest must wash his clothes and bathe himself with water. He may then come into the camp, but he will be ceremonially unclean till evening. The man who burns it must also wash his clothes and bathe with water, and he too will be unclean till evening. A man who is clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer and put them into a ceremonially clean place outside the camp. They shall be kept by the Israelite community for use in the water of cleansing. It is for purification from sin. The man who gathers up the ashes of the heifer must also wash his clothes, and he too will be unclean till evening. This will be a lasting ordinance both for the Israelites and for the aliens living among them. Whoever touches the dead body of anyone will be unclean for 7 days. He must purify himself with the water on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day, then he will be clean. And if he does not purify himself on the 3rd and 7th day, he will not be clean. Sorry guys, it's late. I think it's about like 2, 3 a.m. And 7th days, he will not be clean. Whoever touches the dead body of anyone and fails to purify himself, defiles the Lord's tabernacle. The person must be cut off from Israel. Because the water of cleansing has not been sprinkled on him, he is unclean. His uncleanliness remains on him. This is the law that applies when a person dies in a tent. And anyone who enters the tent and anyone who is in it will be unclean for 7 days, and every open container without a lid fastened on it will be unclean. And anyone out in the open who touches someone who has been killed with a sword, or someone who has died a natural death, or one who touches a human bone or a grave will be unclean for 7 days. For the unclean person put some ashes from the burnt purification offering into a jar and pour fresh water over them. Then a man who is ceremonially clean is to take some hyssop, dip it in the water, and sprinkle the tent and all the furnishings and the people who were there. You must also sprinkle anyone who has touched a human bone or a grave, or someone who has been killed, or someone who has died a natural death. The man who is clean is to sprinkle the unclean person on the 3rd day and 7th day. And on the 7th day he is to purify him. The person being cleansed must wash his clothes and bathe with water. That evening he will be clean. But if a person who is unclean does not purify himself, he must be cut off from the community, because he has defiled the sanctuary of the Lord. The water of cleansing has not been sprinkled on him, and he is unclean. This is a lasting ordinance for them. The man who sprinkles the water of cleansing must also wash his clothes, and anyone who touches the water of cleansing will be unclean till evening. Anything that an unclean person touches becomes unclean, and anyone who touches it becomes unclean till evening. Wow, great reading. Okay. 4 days left in Numbers. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days in, 4 days left. After that, going into Deuteronomy and then Joshua. So we got one more Old Testament until we're out of like the books of law. I'm not sure what the other ones are. I think they might be history, so that's going to be cool. So after Deuteronomy, we're going to be out of the laws, which is good because these are kind of boring right now. But I mean, Numbers is going way faster than looks like I got lip gloss on. I don't. I got Burt's Bees on right now. I swear. But anyway. Yeah, we got like this wow, this is where he strikes the rock. Yeah, I remember this. I remember hearing about it. I don't remember actually reading this. I've never gotten this far. Literally never. And they don't really like talk about this at church just because like like they usually talk about the New Testament just because it's like way more lessons in it. But yeah. I wonder when we get into the New Testament. So when is Matthew? Ezekiel's here. So there's gonna be a lot. Matthew, we start in September, so we are a long ways away, but it's whatever. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be reading Numbers 20 through 24, big reading, then 25 through 27. So, let's pray real quick, and let's get this thing moving, get you guys wherever you guys gotta go. You guys hear about that Luca trade? That is crazy. I literally like just figured out about that, and I couldn't believe it was true. I thought it was a lot. All right, let's see if I can just find this in here because I don't think I wrote it the best. I have what it is though. So Isaiah. Matthew 10. Malachi. Okay. Ready? Please close your eyes. This is a prayer. I just don't have it memorized. All right. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. You will be done on heaven as in earth. Let's restart. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. You will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Amen. I'm sure there's actually because every time I try to read that, I'm like, hallowed be thy name, because that's how they say it. So I think that's in the King James, which I have right there. So tomorrow we'll read it out of that one probably. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, learning a lot, definitely. And there's the Instagram right there. The Reddit's no more, but that's the Instagram. Anything you need to know, go there. Also comments, obviously, if they're turned on. Sometimes they turn it off just because I'm 15, but if it's not being weird, obviously go in there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Oh dang, I thought that was gonna